And good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Bushnell-Prairie City High School. We've got afternoon baseball today here live from Bushnell-Prairie City High School as the West Prairie Cyclones are in town to take on the BPC Spartans in a rivalry game and the first of its kind. I've been covering sports since the mid-1990s, folks, and this is the first time that I can say I've covered a regular season game on a weekday during the school day. So it's pretty awesome to be here as we are getting ready. All the students from the junior high and high school are here in attendance watching until their early dismissal at least. All the elementary students at the elementary unable to come today because of early dismissal. We want to say hello to all of those young boys and girls watching us here on TSSR Game Time Live presented by MDH. We are going to have a little bit different scenario today. We do have a first pitch today, and that first pitch is going to be thrown by none other than Denny King. Jake Croxton is doing the PA announcing today, and we have him under headset as well. So when we get ready to do the live or the first pitch, we will let you folks hear what they have to say about Denny, and then Denny's going to come talk to us during the first inning of the game as well, as we're going to go with the National Anthem and so on, right as we can as soon as the first pitch is over. There's Denny King getting ready to come out now.
Of the Bushnell community for decades. As owner of Midstate Graphics, Denny has produced T-shirts and apparel for thousands of Spartan athletes. Denny and his wife Linda are the parents of Derek, Justin, and Alex, all of which were all-conference athletes for Bushnell-Prairie City. Spartan Baseball would like to thank Denny King for his many years and avid support for Spartan Baseball and Spartan Athletics. Please welcome to the mound, Denny King.
And that was about as quick of a first pitch as you're ever going to see. He didn't take any time to pitch that first pitch as we're getting ready to go here with the National Anthem as well. And another cool deal is, for the first time at any baseball game I've ever seen, the pep band is here today to play the National Anthem. So hopefully we'll be able to let you hear that as well, as the National Anthem will be coming here by the Bushnell-Prairie City High School pep band. Oh, well, I guess we're not going to start yet. We don't have any umpires. Coach Arnold just walked to the fence and said we don't have any umpires. So we'll get Denny King to come in here and talk to us for a few minutes. Might be more than a few if we don't have any umpires, as Jake just said. That is for sure. Denny, go ahead and get underneath the headset here. Get you up. You won't be able to hear me very good because I don't have the crossover mic on, but tell you what, you live eye shot away from everything that happens here at this school, and you've done it for a long time. First pitch, have you ever got to throw one of those out before?
No, I haven't. It was quite an honor to me today. I appreciate being part of this.
I know Coach Arnold appreciates everything you've done through the years, and, Midstate Graphics has been a huge part of the school here at BPC. And your kids, obviously, have been a huge part of athletics here. It's as hot a day as we've had all year today. When you coached your kids in baseball, this is the kind of day you had, those summer nights at the VFW Park, right? And it was 90 degrees.
Yeah, it was a lot easier than playing in 30 degrees and rain.
That's been a problem this year for sure. I know you watched the kids play. You had two very good baseball players, football players, basketball players. I mean, they were good athletes, but baseball was one of their more favorite sports if I look back and remember. But you had to spend a lot of those early spring days here at the high school baseball field when it was 40 degrees or 45 degrees or whatever the case may be. What was that like? What's the difference, not for a player and a fan?
Well, if you're a fan and a parent, there's a big difference. I mean, you don't like sitting in 40-degree weather, but you wouldn't miss it for the world. So, and it was like that with all their sports. Football, you expect that kind of weather. Baseball, not so much.
Well, hold on just a second. We'll keep you here. But we're going to do the National Anthem real quick. Hopefully you folks will be able to hear it a little bit here. Is there right beside you? Ever been to a baseball game with a pep band before?
No.
this afternoon's National Anthem.
So that is the national anthem as we will have it today. And you were talking about the kids probably don't mind the cold as much as the parents, right? But it's still a different baseball game when the bats are cold and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, we'll go out there wanting to hit the ball, and you know it's going to hurt your hands, but it's just part of it at that time.
Well, you threw out the first pitch. This is a game that were any of your boys or your daughter in when it was BPCA, or were they all in during that time? I can't remember where they
were
fell.
All in during that time. We co-opted with Avon in baseball. Had some really good teams back then. Avon was a big baseball town, and it was really a nice fit for us.
So you understand the co-op and the split of the co-op. Mm-hmm. What do you think the feelings are for these two teams here today? As you know, it's not the first time they played in Colchester earlier this year, but they're still friends. There's a lot of friends that have played together. It's a different feeling for this game.
I'd like to think it'd be a friendly rivalry, and I think we got a good bunch of kids here. I spent some time with our boys before the game, watched them play this year. They're a class act.
Well, Coach Arnold's been around here a long time. I know that you've dealt with him on numerous levels throughout the years. In an era where teachers leave and flow and coaches are in and out, it's good to have that real solid part of the BPC baseball team, isn't it?
I think it is. I think consistency is important with the coaching staff in any sport. There's always that relearning curve, particularly for the kids that have maybe played for the coach for 2 years and he leaves in their, the beginning of their junior year or something like that. But, I think the consistency is really important.
Well, is there anything you'd like to say to all your fans?
All my fans. No, I just appreciate being part of this. Dave talked to me about this game a few weeks ago, and I got goosebumps. I thought, what a wonderful way to try to encourage other young athletes to come out for this sport. Our administration got on board with it. Obviously, the other coaching staff and their administration got on board with it, and I'm just proud to be a part of it. I'm glad they included me in it.
You've been around sports a long time. Do you ever think you'd see something like this during the day?
No.
Where kids would get to come out and watch and you'd play the game during the school day?
That's one of the coolest things I've seen. I think it's amazing that they're doing this, and I hope we can maybe implement it into some other sports as well, and maybe make this an annual event.
A basketball or volleyball game would be awesome like this, wouldn't it? When you could just stuff the whole gym full of kids. I mean, and really, if you could work it out to where both schools could transfer their kids, I mean, that would just be phenomenal. That place would be amazing, wouldn't it?
I think it would be great. I'd like to see more of it. For no other reason is the fact that it may encourage other athletes to get involved once they see the atmosphere that they're getting to play in.
Well, do you want to stick around and be color commentator for an inning or so?
Sure.
We can see how it works here. We're going to take a break here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH, and we'll be back in just about 30 seconds with the starting lineups.
MDH has committed to having a top-notch OB-GYN unit.
The new facility, the Dolores Cater Schweitzer Women's Center, this is a quality facility that the patients need to match the quality of care.
And then we also have a new clinic, which is state-of-the-art.
And here at McDonough, we have a team. And everybody feels like they're a part of the successes that we have.
We have a strong team in our office and in labor and delivery. You will get the best care at McDonough District.
And welcome back here to Bushnell-Prairie City High School as we're just about ready to go with the first inning of the contest between the Cyclones and the Spartans. And here is the starting lineups for the BPC Spartans. He's going to be announced in the batting first will be junior Ezra Mason. He'll wear number 7 and play center field. Right fielder, number 8, Ben Powell, bat second. The pitcher, number 9, Dalton Horwittle, will bat third. Batting cleanup will be Dalton Huffman, the left fielder. The shortstop, number 16, Dalton Strode, will bat fifth. Batting sixth. The first baseman is Carter Alleman. He'll wear number 30. Junior Elliott Mason, number 4, will play second base, and he'll bat seventh. Batting eighth will be Jake Brown, wearing number 27. He's the third baseman. And the catcher, a freshman, number 11, Lane Huffman, will bat ninth, as Horwittle is already on the mound to start warming up here. And, Denny, it's these first pitches are always like the most tedious for a pitcher, right? I mean, it's how you set the tone for the whole game, right?
It really is. It's a chance for them to get rid of their butterflies a little bit, and hopefully we can get something off to a good start here. He's looking pretty good right now. It's always different when there's a batter standing there.
So the Cyclones lineup looks like this. Batting first, wearing number 30, the first baseman, Andrew Hunt. Second, he'll be on deck, the shortstop, number 2, Denver Mitchell. And batting third, the center fielder, number 6, Cameron Kramer. That's the first 3 batters of the game for the Cyclones. All right, as Dalton Horwittle continues to warm up here, and I was ill-prepared in a different vehicle today, so I don't have a pencil, so hopefully we can keep track of everything that's going on here, Denny. I'm gonna make that your responsibility until I find a pencil, okay? You have to help me keep track of what everybody does. Can you do that for me?
Got it.
How much of the family's here today with you?
Alex and Linda are here, and I just saw Dylan go by. I guess they canceled bringing the elementary school over, so Adeline won't be here.
Yeah, they did that because they get out at 2, and they figured it'd take about an hour to get them over here.
Yeah.
And the first batter of the game stepping to the plate going to be Andrew Hunt. And Dalton Horwittle going to get the first offering of the day. Lane Huffman behind the plate. Swing and a tip, but it's just going to be a strike. You're awesome. Thank you very much, Mrs. Wrench. That's going to be your job. Jake Croxton is going to be the scoreboard operator and the PA announcer. It's 0-1's the count here on Hunt. Swing and a foul ball back over our heads. 0-2's the count. Jake, scoreboard. Oh, it's 0-2 into the count here, so obviously you don't want to give him a good pitch here, right, Denny?
And he didn't.
Inside, it is pretty close to hitting him. He didn't really get out of the way of that one, but it's going to be a ball. Brings the count to 1-2. We do have 2 officials. There's been a few games this year where there's only been 1 official, and this is going to be a test for the officials this week, or the umpires this week too, because it's so hot. It's going to be a 1-2 count. A swing and a miss. Down swinging goes Andrew Hunt as he strikes out in the first at bat of the game. Stepping up to plate, the shortstop, number 2 for the Cyclones, Denver Mitchell. Understand Denver is going to look into getting into broadcasting after school when he graduates, goes to Western, so we'll hopefully get him on some of these TSSR Game Time Live presented by MDH events as we move along. Ball 1, 1-0's the count. First time that Horwittle's been behind in the count. That's a strike, evens the count at 1-1. Want to welcome everybody who is watching at home. Make sure to get in the live chat. Tell us where you're watching from, who you're cheering for. We'd love to see. There's a swing and a miss. Gets ahead in the count now, 1-2 after falling behind 1-0 did Horwittle, but he's dealing right now.
He is. He's looking really good. I haven't seen him put anything in anybody's wheelhouse.
And Looking for strikeout number 2 on a 1-2 count. That's going to be way outside, not even close enough to get him to swing. Evens the count at 2-2. That's when he was probably trying to paint the outside corner high and just got a little wide on him. Second pitch inside, ground ball up the middle. Mason's going to be there. He gets there, but he's not going to make a throw in time. It's going to be an infield single for Denver Mitchell. A good backhand snag for Mason, but I'll tell you what, that was going to be a really, really hard throw, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was, and that wasn't sharply hit at all. That was really tough play to make, and I think he was wise to hold up on the throw there.
So, runner on first for Cameron Kramer, the center fielder, wears number 6 for the Cyclones. 1 out, 1 on here in the top of the first inning. Swing and a miss, 0-1's the count. We will try to get the scoreboard working here as we move along, folks. So that's one of the things I was behind on.
Ooh. His fastball's got a little tail on it.
1-1's the count. Runner going, throw to second. He's out.
I tell you what,
play. What a throw by Lane Huffman.
The young man is a freshman.
Yes.
He's a freshman. That was an outstanding throw. Oh, thank you.
I'm showing it inside.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I've got a couple pencils brought out to me, which is fantastic. So it's 1-2, 2 outs now here in the top of the first inning. Swing, ground ball right back to the pitching mound, over the pitcher's mound. Dalton Strode in for a throw, one-handed, bare-handed grab and a throw to first. A 6-3 putout, and that ends the inning for the Spartans. And a great play by Dalton Strode, and that's how the inning ends. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, none left. And at the end of 1/2 inning, it's 0-0. Spartans coming up for their first time at the plate. We'll be back here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH, in just a minute.
At Country Financial, we enjoy serving the community in which we live, big or small.
I love living in the Blandonsville area. It's where I grew up, went to school, and decided to raise my family. I never had a desire to live or work anywhere other than in a small town. I feel lucky to help my longtime friends and neighbors with their insurance needs. It's like working with family every day.
I'm Brett Powell, your local Country Financial representative, whose door is always open to work with you.
We're always moving. Scratch that. We're always moving forward. But forward can sometimes look a little backwards. Or like circles. Or like nothing at all. But we never stop. We never stop. Because life never stops. It's hard to stop a train.
MTC Communications is building a high-speed fiber network in our community, and we're putting priority on the areas with the greatest interest. That means we need your input to let us know you want us to build fiber in your area first. Experience the speed and convenience of fiber internet by visiting our special website and registering. Let us know you want fiber internet today, and make your voice heard.
And we're back here to BPC High School as the starting pitcher, John Reynolds, is on the mound for the Cyclones. He wears number 14. First hitter for the Spartans is going to be number 8, the left fielder, Ezra Mason. He steps to the plate from the left side, and as a right-handed pitcher, lefty is not what you necessarily want to see, is it? High for ball 1. 1-0 is the count. Reynolds had a great outing for the Cyclones against Peoria Heights just a couple days ago. I guess it's been over a week now, but he beat Peoria Heights with a complete game and for the second win for the Cyclones. So the Cyclones got beat by the Spartans earlier this year, 17-0, but it was not the kind of game that they tend to play, so they're looking to change things up today. 3-0 is the count on Mason. Here's Reynolds' deal here. Outside, and that's a walk.
Next up, right fielder number 8, Ben Powell.
Ben Powell stepping to the plate now. Powell is the right fielder. Runner on first, nobody out here in the top or the bottom of the first for the Spartans. Reynolds offering coming. That's the first strike on the outside corner. Down in the strike zone, gets the called strike, and it's 0-1 on Ben Powell, who has hit 2 or 3 home runs this year. And then Reynolds, who was not on the rubber yet, kind of takes Mason back to the bag. Mason trying to take a bit of an early lead there. Here's Reynolds looking. Throws, popped up behind home plate into foul territory, and it went right into the bleachers. I don't know how that didn't hit anybody.
I don't know.
They all dove out of the way, though. And it's 0-2. So we are trying to get the scoreboard working here, folks. We apologize. So Powell's going to have to do a 2-strike approach here and put something in play. He does have a runner on first. That ball's inside. Brings the count to 1-2. Reynolds is going to pitch.
He's leaning
ahead in the count, 1-2, taking a long time. Mason goes, ground ball down
nice,
the third base line. It's fair ball. It's going to get past the third baseman. And Coach Arnold's going to send Mason from first. The throw to the plate, it's going to be close. It's going to be, no, it's going to be cut off. It would have been close, but it was cut off by Reynolds. And 1 run will score as Ben Powell is in with a stand-up double. Right down the line. Couldn't have placed that any better.
Couldn't have placed any better, and he got a good jump at first base. He was going on the pitch.
Swing and a miss. Dalton Horwittle, the starting pitcher, has a 1-run cushion now, and he is going to see if he can add to that with a runner in scoring position. Nobody out here in the bottom of the first inning for the Spartans. Horwittle at the plate. Reynolds the deal. High, but it's swung on by Horwittle. It's into foul territory down the first base line. First baseman is over there to get it. That is Andrew Hunt, and he picks up the first out of the game. Now at the plate, it's going to be Dalton Huffman, the cleanup hitter, with 1 out and a runner on second. For the sophomore, a pop fly is going to be shallow. Third base is there and makes the catch. That was the third baseman, Grant Roush, making the catch. The shortstop, Dalton Strode, who had an outstanding play to end the first inning for the Spartans, is going to see if he can get an RBI here or at least advance the runner. And he's got to get on first base. He can't advance him without getting on first base, really, at this point, as there's 2 outs and 1 on. That ball is in the dirt. Looked like it may be an off-speed pitch, a breaking ball, ball maybe, like and it didn't quite break as much as he wanted it to. And that ball is in the dirt.
Going to third.
Delayed steal late.
Oh, and
now
score
it's going to end up being a run as the late steal forced a throw, and it was wide down into foul territory, got past the third baseman, and it is another run for the Spartans.
Easy RBI for Dalton.
And now it's going to be Dalton Strode with nobody on, 2 outs, 2-0 count. That's a nice pitch and a nice hit, but right at the second baseman, and it's going to be a 4-3 putout for Strode. But the little bit of damage is done with the bottom of the first inning. 2-0 is the score. We'll head to the second here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
I couldn't ask for a better agent, for a better company in a disaster where you have no idea where to start.
I learned that there's not a given in life. It takes a team. There's people that are going to watch out for us and they care.
It's been pretty stressful. Once we saw Lori and got our plan, it's
like a huge weight lifted.
MDH has committed to having a top-notch OB-GYN unit.
The new facility, the Dolores Cater Schweitzer Women's Center, this is a quality facility that the patients need to match the quality of care.
And then we also have a new clinic, which is state-of-the-art.
And here at McDonough, we have a team. And everybody feels like they're a part of the successes that we have.
We have a strong team in our office and in labor and delivery. You will get the best care at McDonough District.
And welcome back to Bushnell-Prairie City High School. As we look at the live chat, Coach Corey Schwartz is watching from his classroom over at the elementary school, so I know that they're playing it on the TVs that they all have in school. That's something. Things have changed so much since we were in school, or you and me and all us old folk, that we barely knew what a computer was at. Well, in fact, we didn't know what a computer was at 8 or 10 years old, really, and now everybody has them, right?
It was totally different. And even to go beyond that, we were lucky to have one game on television a week.
Yeah, exactly. Remember when they used to have Monday Night Baseball, though? At the plate is Kyle Rhodes, the catcher.
Spent a lot of time listening to the transistor radio laying on the front porch.
Yeah, I remember back when I was a kid, there'd be a game. Saturday and Sundays, there'd always be games. But my uncle would always sit in the front yard in the old metal chairs that they used to have under the shade tree, listening to the Cardinals games on the radio. It's not much of that done anymore, doesn't seem.
No, there's
like,
not. There's something lost with that. I mean, I enjoy listening to a game on the
Rhodes
radio.
puts it in play up the middle. Mason's there. Throw to first is in time, barely by about a step, but he gets him out number one here in inning number 2.
Next up, your pitcher, number 14, John Reynolds.
John Reynolds, the pitcher, wearing number 14, steps to the plate. So the line for the Spartans, 2 runs on 2 hits. One error on a throwing error and none left. It's 2-0. And there's a strike, and man, that was
painted that corner.
He had a wide brush on that one. But a strike nonetheless. 0-1's the count. Reynolds, the batter. He's probably sitting there thinking to himself right now, I hope I can get that strike in the next inning, right?
Exactly.
I'll take that if I can get it too. Okay with that. So here's Reynolds with the look again. It's 1-1 to count. There's another one outside, 2-1. 2-0 is the lead here. The Spartans lead the Cyclones. Once again, I want to say hi to Mr. Schwartz's class watching over at the elementary school. And that one's inside. So after going up 0-1, Horwittle finds himself down 3-1 here in this count, and a chance to get a base runner with 1 out for the Cyclones. John Reynolds, the starting pitcher for the Cyclones, at the plate. That was a little low, and it's a walk.
Next up, second base, number 23.
The second baseman, Andrew Cameron, number 23, coming to the plate now. Trying to get something going for the Cyclones here. Now, the last time they had a base runner, he got thrown out at second base. Swing and a miss. Cameron takes a cut at the first pitch and can't make contact. Horwittle is up again 0-1. He threw 4 straight balls, Denny, to walk Reynolds after going up 0-1. So at least he came back here and stopped the bleeding a little bit.
That's what you got to do to a pitcher to get your confidence back.
A swing and a miss by Cameron. Makes the count 0-2. I don't think Reynolds is the fastest cat in the field here.
I don't think he's a
When you're down 2-0, probably not a good time to steal here. That's
a nice curveball.
Backwards
that
K.
dropped in there, beautiful.
That was a great curveball, dropped right in for a strike. And out number 2 for the Cyclones. Stepping up to the plate now, Grant Roush, the third baseman, wearing number 9. And he's up with 2 outs, 1 on here in the top of the second inning. Swing and a miss. That ball might have been a little outside.
I think it was. Had a little bit of a tail on it.
You mentioned that earlier, that his fastball tails a little bit, doesn't it?
It does.
And the tail kind of curves away from the right-handed batter and into the left-handed batter. That ball's way outside, and we just got hit by a rock. I need to talk to Horwittle. He can't be throwing rocks at me. Ball went all the way to the fence before it hit the dirt. Got away from him a little bit. Probably a curveball that he lost before he got to where he needed to let go of it.
Yeah, it could have been.
Or it might have just plain slipped out of his hand. Try it again here. That's a good pitch and a great cut, but no contact, and it is 1-2 to Roush now. The runner on second base is Reynolds, but there's 2 outs. Big pitch here for both teams. And a swing and a miss, and that will bring this inning to an end as well. That's strikeout number 3 for Horwittle. He's faced 7 batters. And the Cyclones trail the Spartans 2-0 as we enter the bottom half of the second inning. We'll take a break and be back here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH, right after this.
We're always moving. Scratch that. We're always moving forward. But forward can sometimes look a little backwards. Or like circles. Or like nothing at all. But we never stop. We never stop because life never stops. It's hard to stop a train.
At Country Financial, we enjoy serving the community in which we live, big or small.
I love living in the Blandonsville area. It's where I grew up, went to school, and decided to raise my family. I never had a desire to live or work anywhere other than in a small town. I feel lucky to help my longtime friends and neighbors with their insurance needs. It's like working with family every day.
I'm Brett Powell, your local Country Financial representative, whose door is always open to work with you.
And welcome back. Here's bottom of the second inning, and we're going to see if we've got the scoreboard working right. We might have to adjust it a little bit. Does not look like it's working right. I know. We got to make one adjustment. As coming to the plate for the Spartans is going to be Carter Alleman, the first baseman. He wears number 30. Reynolds back on the mound for the Cyclones.
Moving up, Bushnell-Prairie City, number 30, Carter Alleman. Go, Carter.
Carter Alleman steps to the plate. Ball 1. And there we've got the lineup. Got to reset some stuff, but there's ball 2. Alleman the batter, Reynolds the pitcher for the Cyclones. Bottom of the second inning.
There's a strike.
And there it comes back to get a strike finally. 2-1's the count here in popped up shallow right center field, coming in to make the missed it. Coming in to try to make the catch was the right fielder, Drew Powell. Got there but couldn't make the catch, and that's going to be an error, I would imagine. Wouldn't you say?
I would say it'd have to be in there. There's enough wind up there that to keep it interesting for the out on any pop fly.
So stepping to the plate now will be the second baseman, number 4, Elliot Mason, excuse me. Got the two of them mixed up there. It's going to be a ball. That looked pretty good on the screen.
Next up, number 4, Elliot Mason.
Two 2-0's the count. Reynolds offers.
Oh, beautiful.
Line shot up the middle, left side to the fence. Oh, I thought I was going to get cut off. It was not. Rounding the plate is third base is Alleman. And with a stand-up double is Elliott Mason. An RBI for Mason. And a run scored for Carter Alleman. And that makes the score 3-0.
They may have had a hit run on there. If they didn't, it sure worked out like one. That's the second time it's worked for them.
There's a strike to open up the at-bat for Jake Brown, the third baseman. Where's number 27 for the Spartans? John Reynolds still on the plate. Runner on second. Nobody out here in the bottom of the second inning. Ground ball is going to go just past Reynolds, just going to advance the runner. Brown might be able to beat it out. No, I think he's out. Did he call him out? He did, didn't he?
I would have thought he would.
Yeah, he did. But he did advance the runner.
Been a few close plays at first base already today.
And Lane Huffman, the number 9 hitter, coming to the plate now. Ball 1. Lane Huffman, the freshman catcher, puts one in play. It's down the left field line. I don't know if it's going to be in foul territory, I think, and it is just barely foul. As the left fielder, Xavier Hilton, kind of gave up on it, but I wonder if that didn't blow back in towards fair a little bit, because it looked like he gave up on it a long time before you could have told it was really foul.
It did at that. And like I said, there's enough wind up there that keeps them on their toes, I'm sure, today.
That ball's low. 2-1's the count. Unofficially. Looks like that's Merv Hilliard behind the plate.
It is.
I can't tell who the second base umpire is, or the base umpire in this case is.
Merv's been at it for several years.
Strike 2 evens the count at 2-2. Go 1-1. 3-0 lead for the Spartans. We got some fun coming for some junior high kids in just a minute. And Huffman goes out and gets it. It's going to be a pop-up short to second base, and nobody's going to be able to advance any farther on that. So an F4.
I think he'd like to have that one back.
Yeah, he reached for one there,
didn't he?
Sure did. Protecting the plate. Ezra Mason, the leadoff hitter, walked in his first at-bat up to the plate with a runner on third here in the bottom of the second inning. The Spartans, that's in play. It's going to drop. That flew farther than I thought. It actually went over the left fielder's head. Hilton took a run at it and kind of misjudged it, and Mason is going to be in with a double. And we talked about the wind, and I think that was a prime example of that right there, Denny.
I do too. Not a good day to be an outfielder. The other thing's a little different for them today. They've actually got some heat to play in.
Yeah, the wind's blowing out there to left field too, and I think that might have carried that ball a little bit farther than. And there's Powell putting one in play. It's going to drop, rounding third, and they're going to cut the play at second to keep Powell from advancing to a double, but Powell's going to have a single and another RBI. And he is 2 for 2 on the day. He had a double in his first at bat.
Huh? No, he's went out with the kids. Went out with the kids for their whatever they're doing out
there. 5-0 the score. Ball 1 on the starting pitcher Dalton Horwittle, who flew out to third base and a pop fly in the first inning. There's a line shot up the middle. It's going to be a base hit. Powell was again, looked like he was either a flat straight steal or a hit and run, and it gets him another base. It's the third time that's happened.
It is.
Next up, number 28, Dalton Huffman.
It couldn't have worked out any better if they had planned it, and maybe they did.
And a pinch runner is going to check in as number 25, Nate Kramer, coming in to pinch run for the starting pitcher, Horwittle. At the plate, going to be the cleanup hitter, Dalton Huffman. He flew out to third base in his first at bat. Runners on the corners with 2 outs here in the bottom of the second inning. That's a strike. He's called that pretty consistently right there.
He has.
Two down. Ball put in play down to third base line. It's going to go foul. So we didn't talk about it much here. We're going to have a little bit of time, and we'll stay here between innings, Denny. But Prairieland Conference Championship game is today between the Bombers of Macomb and these Spartans at Macomb. An unusual doubleheader, and there's a pop on an inside high pitch as Huffman went after one and fouled it straight back to the screen.
The game was originally supposed to be, this game was originally supposed to be last Wednesday, and of course the field was underwater, so they had to move it to today. It's not the most convenient thing for them. Maybe we'll just consider it a good warm-up.
Swing and a miss. That's going to be the end of inning number 2, but a little more damage is done. 3 more scored here in the second. 3 runs on 3 hits, 1 error, and 2 left. At the end of 2 complete, the score, BPC 5, the West Prairie Cyclones 0, and the spinny bat challenge coming up. But I've been covering sports for a long time, and I have never seen a game during the school day that kids got to come watch.
No.
And I've never seen a doubleheader where one team is playing 2 different teams at 2 different locations in the same day.
Yeah, exactly. I'm really thrilled about this afternoon game. I'm hoping something they can carry on. I think it's just it's a great opportunity for maybe some other people to get interested in playing baseball.
Yeah, Kenny Suter is going to be setting up for that game for us a little bit later. And it is
what is Macomb's record?
I don't know what Macomb's record is. Unfortunately, baseball is so hard to keep. You can get on Max Preps, and I should get on Max Preps more. I'm old school, and it's just hard for me to remember to do that. But I should know that. But Macomb is always a solid baseball team.
They always have, even when I was a kid.
And Horwittle's back on the mound. Be interesting to see who the Spartans pitch. You know, Horwittle is one of their aces. It'll be interesting to see who they pitch in the second game.
Yeah, well, it's going to be a little bit of pressure on them. They're bound to be a little bit tired. And we were back in the day playing Pony League. Macomb would put up 4 teams in the Pony League against Bushnell's 1 and be competitive on every one of the teams.
Yeah,
they were it was back in the Phil Bradley days. And they've always been, like I said, a baseball town.
So stepping to the plate, Xavier Hilton, the left fielder, number 3. Top of the third inning. Pitch is outside. Ball 1.
Came back inside with a strike on that one.
1-1's the count. Getting kids involved is fun. It's a cool part of this deal, right?
Yeah, very much so.
That pitch is outside. 2-1's the count.
I have. Another one in there for a strike.
Adam Kern says that one of the kids in the spinny bat challenge cheated because he didn't have his bat on the ground.
I noticed that.
Cheaters.
I believe that was
tell
the winner.
That ball's in the dirt, 3-1. Or 3-2, excuse me. You're lucky I didn't let somebody else steal them. Taylor Gustafson just came up here looking for her keys. She helped me get a couple things set up and found a couple things for me and left her keys laying up here.
Uh-huh.
So I want to thank her. She wanted to say hi to her siblings, but I don't know. I told her she could do that at some point, but now she's gone. I don't know if she was leaving or what she's doing. So runner on first now. At the plate will be the number 9 hitter, Drew Powell. Swing and a miss.
Got to chase that one into the dirt.
Hilton is fast. He does have wheels over there at first base. But it's hard to steal Denny against the left-handed pitcher.
It certainly is.
Got to go on first movement or not go at all, right?
Exactly.
That evens the count at 1-1.
He's leaning like he'd like to try it, but Dalton kind of taking a long look at him.
There's another strike. 2-1's the count. Powell is ready. He doesn't leave the box or change anything. He's ready to go. That ball's way above the head of Powell. It goes off of Huffman's glove, and advancing to second base is Hilton. Now, it's not unusual, right, for the left-hander if he's going to miss high, it's going to be high and to the right of us, or from behind the plate, it's going to be high and to the right. If he's going to miss low, it's probably going to be to the left, right? More
That's
often
right,
than
and
not.
most time, yeah. He's had two today. They're just about in the same spot. Makes you wonder if the ball's not getting a little moist.
So 3-2's the count, full count. Runner won't be going here. Well, I guess he could be, but not necessarily, since there's nobody pushing him. Swing and a miss, a strikeout. That's 4 strikeouts on the way through the batting order for the first time. Coming to the plate, the leadoff hitter, number 30, the first baseman, Andrew Hunt, and he struck out swinging in his first at bat. Runner on second. One out. Ball's in play. Second base. Throw to first. Out, but he does advance the runner. A 4-3 put out for Hunt. As Elliott Mason goes to Alleman, and Denver Mitchell with a runner on third and 2 outs. Coming to the plate now. He is the shortstop for the Cyclones. The ball's maybe a little high and inside, but it is going to be a strike on a swing. And that pitch is outside again. You going to sit here and talk with us for a second? Yeah. Okay. Hold on just a second here. 1-1 is the count. That makes it 2-1. We'll just use this as a microphone for now. As Horwittl's pitch, that's a good one.
Nice.
Evens the count at 2-2. Taylor, thank you for your help earlier and moving my truck and everything.
You're welcome.
You got some little siblings watching in the elementary this morning, is that right?
I do. Luke, Bentley, and Jax is home now, but hi, guys.
Well, I tell you what, I shouldn't let you talk anymore. That was a wild pitch and lets the first run score, so we're going to blame that on you. Is that okay?
That's fine.
She says I'm graduating. It doesn't really Doesn't really matter to me, I guess. So the first run scores on a wild pitch as Xavier Hilton finds his way around, and still at the plate's going to be Denver Mitchell. Just one out here, and a swing, and a foul ball. 3-2 is the count. Count's full. And walks him on a full count pitch, low and inside to the right-handed batter.
Is that his second walk to him?
What was that?
Is that his second walk?
Of this inning, yes. Third walk of the game. Third walk of the game, excuse me. At the plate now is going to be Cameron Cramer, the center fielder. He wears number 6. Ball off the plate, it sounded like. Throw's going to be from Horwittle to first base and gets him by about a half a step. A 1-3 putout ends the inning, but one run is scored as Xavier Hilton got a leadoff walk, and those leadoff walks will kill you every time, won't they?
They do.
And I think that after the third inning, completion of the third inning, we'll have another halftime entertainment, so to speak. But we'll take a break here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH, and be back right after this.
MTC Communications is building a high-speed fiber network in our community, and we're putting priority on the areas with the greatest interest. That means we need your input to let us know you want us to build fiber in your area first. Experience the speed and convenience of fiber internet by visiting our special website and registering. Let us know you want fiber internet today and make your voice heard.
I became a nurse practitioner because I wanted to do more, I wanted to learn more, actually have more hands-on individually with patients. The rewarding part for me is that I get to come to work and learn something new every single day.
And welcome back to Bushnell-Prairie City High School. Bottom of the third inning, 5-1. Spartans lead the Cyclones as Dalton Strode comes to the plate now. Entering the bottom of the third. First pitch by John Reynolds is a little high and inside for a ball, as that's how we'll start the bottom of the third inning. And Denny, the first time all year the pitchers don't probably have to worry. There's a line shot up the middle left side. It's going to be picked up by the center fielder for the Cyclones, but it'll be a single for Dalton Strode. I was going to say the pitchers don't have to worry about tightening up as much in between innings, right?
Yeah, it's kind of a nice change for them. It gets old having to put on the warm-up in between innings and be active in the dugout just to keep yourself loose.
Carter Alleman stepping to the plate now. Another one of the juniors, a very good junior class here. And Strode is going to go, not even a throw. He dives in. Hey, Mom, I just want to get my stuff dirty for you. I know his
Jamie
mom will appreciate that.
Yeah, I'm sure she does.
So here's the pitch by Reynolds, an 0-1 count, or 1-0 count, excuse me. That ball's in the dirt as well. 2-0 on
sure
Alleman.
She's like my mom and my wife. She's got 3 active in sports as well.
And all levels, right?
At all levels.
Reynolds trying to battle back. That one's going to be high. 3-0's the count. So runner on second, nobody out. 3-0's the count on Alleman. Carter reached on an error and scored in the second inning. And he's taken all the way. Not a surprise there, as he took that pitch, and it was a good one right down the middle of the plate. Puts that one in place. Center field. It's going to be caught. Strode can't tag. It's too shallow. And a long throw as Mitchell is able to cut it off. As he was trying to throw him out at third base even though he wasn't going. That's out number 1. Elliott Mason coming to the plate. He had a double and a run scored and an RBI in the second inning. That ball's high and inside for a 1-0 count. Notice one of the other things, everybody's wanting this weather, but then there's another deep shot left center field, but back is the center fielder for the Cyclones, Cramer, and he catches it, but Strode does advance to third. So with 2 outs on the sac fly, stepping to the plate now, Jake Brown. He went on a ground out to second, and his first at bat, he comes with a strike. Reynolds doing enough to put stuff in play and letting his defense help him here. That one's high and outside. Brown, I don't know if that was as far outside, Denny. Brown kind of bailed on it and then swung at it late, didn't he?
Very late swing and had his foot in the bucket. Not sure what was going on there.
It's hard to hit a pitch on the outside part of the strike zone if you bail on it. And it didn't look like it had much curve on it, but it might have from where he was standing. Once again.
Same thing.
Foul ball. Stays alive. 0-2 is the count. He didn't do that in his first at-bat, but it seems like this at-bat, maybe Reynolds is throwing something different at him a little bit.
Something we can't see.
There's a late swing again. He didn't bail out on that as much, but late again, down the first base line, foul. That's 4 pitches, I believe, now. 3 of them are foul balls.
His hesitation almost looks like he's seeing a changeup, but they haven't been throwing that much heat for that to be effective, I don't think.
Reynolds does have a pretty decent curve. He might have got a healthy dose of curves in the first at bat or something maybe. And there was a curve ball that didn't break a whole lot. It's going to bring it to 1-2. All those pitches, and it's just 1-2.
Isn't that something?
Watched a MLB game the other night where they had a 15 pitch at bat followed by a 14 pitch at bat.
Oh, wow.
There's a ball in the dirt. It's going to be dug. Strode's going to come to the plate, and he's going to score. A wild pitch results in another run.
You know, Dwayne, that wasn't that deep behind the plate, but Dalton got a good jump on it, and he's got some pretty good wheels.
Yeah, he took a really a good hop for the defense. Problem was, I don't think Rhodes found it as quickly as he wanted to. And the other thing is Reynolds wasn't there to cover. 2-2 is the count. Again, foul down the first base line, and Brown is behind everything here.
Struggling a little here, yeah. Not really characteristic of him.
No, he's a good ball player. He's something is catching him off here for Reynolds. I don't know what it is, but maybe he's just struggling to see the ball out of his hand a little bit. There's another foul ball.
That far.
About that far from nailing a kid. That's the problem with the kids out there not paying attention. Yep. They're liable to get hit.
That landed right at their heels.
Those hurt when they hit you, too. So big at bat here. There are 2 outs.
There's one down the left field.
And it's caught by the left fielder for out number 3. So at the end of 3 complete innings of play, the score is the Spartans 6, the Cyclones 1. We'll keep it here as we're going to do a gunny sack race. Jake called me and asked me if there was if I knew where any gunny sacks were. I said, I said, I haven't seen a gunny sack in forever, but I'll call around. My cousin, Neil Havens, I called him because he's got all kinds of old stuff. He goes, I haven't seen a gunny sack in 30 or 40 years.
That's something you had stacks of them in your garage back in the day.
Yeah, not anymore.
Notice Jake has his checkered flag out here.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise you, does it?
It does not at all.
Jake, anytime he can get the checkered flags out, he's going to do it.
I remember watching him as a little boy on the sidewalk. They lived in our neighborhood, and he had all of his flags out there in the stand just running an imaginary race.
Yeah. He does a lot of imaginary racing, I think, even today. So it looks like Horwittle back on the mound. We don't keep a very good pitch count. Back there warming him up is Carter Chambers. As Huffman had to get his gear back on. He was on deck.
As a catcher, do you take it off? Do you leave half of it on? Usually in the on-deck circle, either putting half of it back on or taking half of it off.
Right. You leave your shin guards on and hope that you don't have to put everything else back on and take it all back off again the next inning. But I guess it's either way you're going to get to hit probably in this scenario, so it's okay. It's the worst when it's that you're up by 11 and it's the 5th inning and you're the next one. You have to take it off, and then you're like, don't let me have to take this off again, right? And then they score 2 runs, and you have to go out and take it all back off again and hit again. And I guess if you're a real ball player, you always want to hit again, right?
Absolutely. Always one more time.
So you're a coach here, Denny. Do you want to take this thing the distance, or would you really like to score some runs and
put it away
and get done and get a little rest? Because this, I mean, that's the advantage. I think that has to be advantage today with the heat, right? For the Bombers being able to play this second game and not have. I mean, they're young and it probably isn't that big of a deal, but it has to be some sort of an advantage, right?
You'd think it'd have to affect them.
Kyle Rhodes stepping to the plate now for the Cyclones. He is 0 for 1 with a ground out to second base in his first at bat. He's going to ground to time. Oh, no, pulled his foot. Called him safe. I thought it was in time. Must have pulled his foot.
Yeah, the throw pulled him off a little bit.
I'd say that's a hit, though, wouldn't you?
I would give it a hit. I would definitely give it a hit.
I will give him a hit. I think that's a good infield hit. John Reynolds stepping to the plate now, the pitcher for the Cyclones. Both pitchers have went 3 complete. That ball's foul, out of play, heads up. Jake says, takes out the saxophone. Poor saxophone player. Jake, was it going to take the saxophone or the saxophone player out? Both. Oh, that's not good. Those instruments aren't cheap. If you put a big dent in it. Oh, there's a nice shot. Left center field. Over to make the play for the Spartans, Ezra Mason, and that's out number 1. Runner cannot advance. He'll stay at first. Andrew Cameron stepping to the plate, the second baseman. He's had a lot of action at second base. Actually, all the second basemen have had quite a bit of action here today.
They have.
Both Mason and Cameron. The ball's into dirt, ball 1.
I had several of them hit that are hung up in the grass. Made some really close plays at first base.
And a swing and a miss. One and one is the count, I do believe. Cameron, the batter. Swing at a high pitch. Chase that one out of the strike zone. 1-2. Horwill's dealing is high. Evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. There is 1 out. Strike 3, got him looking. Second time Cameron has struck out looking. And it's going to be 2 outs here in the top of the 4th inning. Grant Roush at the plate. He is the 3rd baseman. He struck out swinging in his first at bat in the 2nd inning. Swing and a miss.
Put a good cut on it.
He's had several very good cuts in his first at bat as well. That's a nice pitch. That tailed back in over the plate, I think, there, didn't he?
I couldn't see that. Need to tell Merv to move over a little bit. We're having trouble seeing.
Yeah, Merv needs to be out of our way, doesn't he? There's a ball.
He was counting on that to break back in.
1-2 is the count. That's a strikeout looking. A backwards K ends inning number 4 for the Cyclones. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, none left. And at the end of 3 1/2, the Cyclones trail the Spartans 6-1. We'll be back here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH, in just a couple minutes.
MDH has committed to having a top-notch OB-GYN unit.
The new facility, the Dolores Cater Schweitzer Women's Center, this is a quality facility that the patients need to match the quality of care.
And then we also have a new clinic, which is state-of-the-art.
And here at McDonough, we have a team. And everybody feels like they're a part of the successes that we have.
We have a strong team in our office and in labor and delivery. You will get the best care at McDonough District.
I couldn't ask for a better agent, for a better company in a disaster where you have no idea where to start.
I learned that there's not a given in life. It takes a team. There's people that are going to watch out for us and they care.
It's been pretty stressful. Once we saw Lori and got our plan, it's
like a huge weight lifted.
Dry needling is where you insert a filiform needle into a muscle, a tendon, a ligament, sometimes a bone, and it promotes blood flow and circulation so that it heals that particular painful area.
I became a nurse practitioner because I wanted to do more, I wanted to learn more, actually have more hands-on individually with patients.
Back to Bushnell-Prairie City High School as Jake Croxton is asking a few questions, and we'll tell you what those answers are and what questions he asked here in a few minutes. But we do want to thank everybody for watching here. Don't forget, we'll be back on air with Kenny Suter as we have the Bombers and Spartans playing for the Prairieland Championship. Lane Huffman at the plates, a little bit outside, ball 1. Huffman is 0 for 1 with a fly out to second base. And his first at bat, Reynolds dealing again. That one's going to go foul. Nearly, it would have been into the dugout had it not been a fence there.
Thank you.
So 1-1 is the count. Huffman at the plate. Pitch, pop, foul territory. That's right where my truck would have been if it hadn't have got moved. That's why I had somebody move it right there. I got a car hit by a softball last year.
Any damage?
A little dent. Not horrible, but everybody told me you shouldn't park there. I parked there till the last game of the year. Or next to last game, I think it was. That's when it got hit. That ball is on the outside corner, and Huffman goes down looking for out number 1.
That seemed to be a little outside, but I've seen that called this afternoon.
Yeah, I mean, he's consistently calling that pitch, right?
He is.
And you have to. That's the reason why coaches say pay attention during the game, right?
Exactly.
So the leadoff hitter, Ezra Mason, scored 2 runs, has a double. He's 1 for 1 with a walk in his 2 plate appearances. The pitch is high and inside for a ball.
This would be a good time to rattle the bats and try to get some runs on the board. Get out of here early and give them a chance to rest.
Top of the order up with 1 out. That ball's in play. It's going to be down for a base hit past the second baseman and then past the right fielder. And Mason thought about it. He took that big turn, but then slammed on the brakes and came back to first with a single.
He was tempted. Probably a wise decision.
Ben Powell is 2 for 2 on the day, 2 RBIs, a run scored, a double, and a single. Still has a chance at the bad throw, and Mason's going to get at the cycle is what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
Mason steals second. That is Ezra Mason on the base paths right now. He's got on base and scored in each of his first 2 plate appearances. Let's see if he can get there again this time. Reynolds. That's going to be a base hit at least, and it's going to go past the left fielder, backed up by the center fielder. A double for Ben Powell and an RBI as well.
Did it look like the left fielder just stopped?
Well, I think he took a bad angle maybe is what I think. But, yeah, he did slow down a little bit. So switched places did Powell and Mason, and now stepping to the plate, Dalton Horwittle. He's 1 for 2 with a single, and that's a ground ball down to first base line is foul. And Horwittle flew out to first base in his first at bat.
Dwayne, do I understand there are only 2 seniors on this group?
Yeah, there's not very junior-laden team. Now Horwittle's going to advance the runner, and an error at second base, and Powell's going to round third, head home, and he's up. I don't think that's a legit. And he advances to second, so he ends up switching places. I don't think that's an RBI though. Do you think?
I don't know.
And by definition, I don't think that should be an RBI. And Kramer's going to go out to run for Horwittle again. Still nobody out, or excuse me, there is 1 out. The Spartans have scored a ton of runs this year with 2 outs. That ball put into play by Huffman. Shallow left field. It's going to fall behind the shortstop in front of the left fielder. He'll be in with a single, his first hit of the game. And runners on first and second with 1 out as Dalton Strode comes to the plate. He singled in his last at-bat, grounded out to second in his first at-bat. He has not scored, has no RBIs thus far, but he's got 1 runner in scoring position. And John Reynolds still on the mound. So advantage hitter here when it's your 3rd and 4th time seeing a batter, seeing a pitcher?
I think so, yeah. Well, hopefully it pays off. And
puts it in play, and it does, but the left fielder plays in, but he's going to let it drop in front of him. And it's going to be another single for Strode. Bases loaded for the junior Carter Alleman. Carter is 0 for 2 with a error and a run scored as he hit to the right fielder, dropped for an error, and then it flew out to center field. A deep fly could score a run here. That ball is in the dirt, ball 1.
Really nice time to touch one up.
The wind is blowing in the right direction too, right?
It is.
His power alley would be left center, and he's going to put it right back over the pitcher's head, and it goes up the middle. 1 run's going to score for sure. They're going to round a second base runner. Cramer scores. Also coming in to score is going to be Huffman, and runners will stop at first and second. 2 runs score on a 2-run single by the junior first baseman.
Next up, number 4, Elliott Mason.
Four runs thus far in the inning with 1 out now. And there's a strike. Ten to 1's the score. That ball's put in play. Ezra Mason for Elliott Mason. And that ball's caught for out number 2.
Next up, third base, number 27, Jake Brown.
Jake Brown is up to the plate. This is the completion of the order here. So this is the number 9 batter of the inning. Runners on first and second, 2 down for the Spartans and Jake Brown. One more run would be nice here, wouldn't it?
It would be.
Then you just have to hold them and you get out of here when you're done. If you don't get another run, you at least have to play another inning. And Brown steps out again, plays ground ball to third, and Strode can't beat Roush to the plate, and that'll end the inning. A 5 unassisted put out. And it is 4 runs.
10-1. Hilton, Powell, and Hutt coming up for West Prairie.
4 runs on 6 hits, 1 error, none left, or 2 left, excuse me. At the end of 4 complete, it's 10-1. We'll be back on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH in just a couple minutes.
MDH has committed to having a top-notch OB-GYN unit.
The new facility, the Dolores Cater Schweitzer Women's Center, this is a quality facility that the patients need to match the quality of care.
And then we also have a new clinic, which is state-of-the-art.
And here at McDonough, we have a team. And everybody feels like they're a part of the successes that we have.
We have a strong team in our office and in labor and delivery. You will get the best care at McDonough District.
My MDH Sports Medicine and Rehabilitation does more than just tape ankles.
They get us back on the court.
My MDH Sports Medicine and Rehabilitation
helps me reach peak performance
in the weight room. Prepares me for competition.
My MDH physical therapists and the fitness programs MDH offers help me on my road to recovery and improve my quality of life.
Come see why MDH Sports Medicine and Rehabilitation was voted best of the best in McDonough County.
And welcome back to Bushnell-Prairie City High School. Tell you what the answers and the questions were. Most home runs in a season, 8 by Kevin Malone, and 5 by Ed Arnold in 90. Is that right?
8 by both.
Oh, 8 by both. So Malone was 05, and Arnold was in 90. Ed Arnold was a very good baseball player back in the day. You remember Ed Arnold playing baseball? He was my age, but it would have been before you were coaching. I don't know if you remember him playing or not.
The name sounds familiar.
Most career steals, Kevin Malone had 155 from 02 to 05. Most career home runs, 17 by Justin King, 02 to 05. And most strikeouts in one game, 19 by Dan Powell in 2000 against South Fulton. So those, if you want to check those out, all those stats are scrolling on the screens and it to BPC High School. So if you're ever in there, you can check all those out. Nate Kramer coming in to pitch for the Spartans. And you said you knew that Justin had a good career, obviously, but you didn't realize that he was the school leader.
Was in the lead for the state for triples for a couple of years, but I did not realize he had a record for home runs here at BPC.
Xavier Hilton stepping to the plate. 10-1's the score. Top of the 5th inning. And a 4:30 scheduled start. There's a strike. A 4:30 scheduled start for the next contest. This one is moving rather quickly, actually, to be in the 5th inning, an hour and 15 in. And there's a I think that was a protection contact right there. That might have hit him if he hadn't hit it. That was way around on that one. It hit it way out in front of him.
Pulled foul to the new batting cages. Have you checked those out yet?
I was going to, but then I did a couple other things. I didn't get to do it beforehand. Nate Kramer's third pitch is a ball. Nate Kramer comes from a family in Bushnell that's known for baseball and softball through the years. His mom, Stacy. There's a swing and a wild pitch. And he's going to reach. Safe is Xavier Hilton.
That was really hurt.
Next up, right field, number 32, Drew
Number
Powell.
Number 9 hitter, Drew Powell, the right fielder, wearing number 32. This is a very similar situation. Excuse me. There's a pitch, strike one. Stacy Sloan, obviously Nate's mom. Ed has been a fixture in the sports community for years and years around Bushnell as well. That's his grandpa. That pitch is outside. 1-1. Kramer's next dealing. Whoa. Lane Huffman just looks left. It's like, Coach, I don't know what. Did I do something wrong there? The ball's inside and hits Powell. And put runners on first and second. And this is Justin King was also third base or triples for a season with 14. Andrew Hunt, the leadoff hitter, coming to the plate now for the Cyclones with runners on first and second, nobody out, and the Spartans really needed to get out of this game as quickly as possible. But that ball's low. Kramer's next pitch. High and outside. 2-0's the count. Nobody out, 2 on for the Cyclones, and not holding the runner on at first base, obviously, with a runner on second. Pretty big lead out there for Hilton. He's way off the bag. There's another ball, 3-0. And walks him on 4 pitches.
It's tough for a pitcher sometimes after they hit a batter to get their confidence back right away.
Next up, the shortstop, number 2, Denver Mitchell.
Denver Mitchell, the shortstop, coming to the plate. He is 1 for 1 with a walk and a single. Singled in his first at bat. To the fence it goes on a wild pitch, and a run's going to score. The worst part of warm weather is the gnats.
That's for sure.
I may or may not just have inhaled 1 or 2. So I apologize to everybody at home.
Good protein.
Yeah, I don't know if it's good or not, but it's some level of protein, I suppose. Ball's high, 2-0.
Starting to see our hopes of a 10-run rule disappear.
There's a strike. Might actually be 3-1. I was behind on the count, so he was taking that pitch all the way.
3.
Mitchell's at the plate. There's a swing, full count, 3-2. Runners on second, third. Still nobody out. And walks, the bases loaded. Stepping to the plate now, Cameron Cramer. Center fielder. He's 0 for 2 with a ground to short and a ground to the pitcher. A nice play by Dalton Horwittle in the 3rd inning. Ball's low. Still nobody out. Bases loaded. Top of the 5th. Nate Kramer on the mound for the Spartans. There's a strike, evens the count at 1 apiece. High, 2-1. Second base, line drive past Mason. It's going to go all the way to the fence. It's going to clear the bases. And Kramer is rounding second, looking for a triple. Throws the second, throw to first, and he is safe, sliding with a triple. A 3-run triple for the Cyclones. And all this started with a dropped third strike, or actually a wild pitch third strike. Kyle Rhodes comes to the plate now. Runner on third. Nobody out. He is 1 for 2 with a single and a ground to second base for an out in his first at bat. There's a ball. 1-0 is the count. Ball 2. That big inning for BPC and at the bottom of the fourth got him so close to that 10-run rule. And then you see this. This is the thing about baseball. It's no time, right? So you can momentum can change, kind of like volleyball. If momentum changes, you can be in trouble. And they've let the momentum change a little bit here, and West Prairie has taken advantage. It's a nice drop-in curve for Kramer to get back in the count, 2-1. And Rhodes chased one there. That was high and out of the strike zone to the outside. Evens the count at 2-2. That hit him?
No, it was in the dirt.
Oh. I was off a ball then. It was a full count. Reynolds coming to the plate.
Looks like Arnie wants to have a talk and maybe make a change here.
And they're going to put Carter Alleman in to pitch, I do believe. Kramer's going to go to first base. Or maybe not. What are they going to do here? Yep, Alleman's changing gloves to go to the mound, I think. No? Is that Huffman out there? It is Dalton Huffman, number 28. Going to be on the mound, a sophomore. Kramer's a sophomore as well, right? So Dalton Huffman going to try and get the Spartans out of this here. Nobody out still here in the top of the 5th inning, and I jinxed things when I said things that were going pretty smooth. And the wheels have fell off a little bit here for BPC. It's a 10-5 game, and it was 10-1 heading into this at bat for the Cyclones, and they've rallied to score 4 with still no outs here in the top of the 5th inning. We'll take a quick break and be back here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH right after this.
MDH has committed to having a top-notch OB-GYN unit.
The new facility, the Dolores Cater Schweitzer Women's Center, this is a quality facility that the patients need to match the quality of care.
And then we also have a new clinic, which is state-of-the-art.
And here at McDonough, we have a team. And everybody feels like they're a part of the successes that we have.
We have a strong team in our office and in labor and delivery. You will get the best care at McDonough District.
We're always moving. Scratch that. We're always moving forward. But forward can sometimes look a little backwards. Or like circles. Or like nothing at all. But we never stop. We never stop.
And we'll cut that commercial short. Come back here. I want to thank Batson's for coming on board with us with the Train dealership. So here comes Huffman's first delivery. It's Reynolds at the plate, and it's going to be a strike. John Reynolds has pitched 4 complete, I should say, for the Cyclones. You'd have to expect him to probably be done as well on pitch count. That ball's in the dirt, and runner's going to advance from first to second. No contest. So it'll be 2 runners in scoring position for the starting pitcher for the Cyclones, John Reynolds. It's Kyle Rhodes at first, Kramer at third, and a foul ball back to the screen brings the count to 1-2. Put it in play. It's going to score a run. Ground to second, out at first, but runners advance. Another run scores. An RBI. And a sacrifice, for lack of a better term, for John Reynolds. Leaves a runner at third with 1 out. Andrew Cameron at the plate. He's struck out looking in his 2 plate appearances thus far. That ball is low. 1-0 is the count. 1 out here in the top of the 5th. Swing and a miss. 1-1. Counts even. So Kramer is at first. Alleman went to left field, I do believe. Huffman is the pitcher. A couple changes here in this inning as Horwittle left after 4 complete. Strike 2 evens the count at 2-2. And another full count. We've seen a lot of those today.
We've seen a lot of those. There's a strike.
And another strikeout looking. That's the 3rd one of the day for Andrew Kramer, and it's the 2nd out of the inning. Stepping to the plate, Grant Roush stepping up. He's the 9th hitter of the inning for the Cyclones. They've scored 5, had a runner on third with 2 outs, and that's a ball in the dirt.
Nice stop there by Lane Huffman, the freshman catcher.
How many times do you think Lane has had to catch Dalton and vice versa through the years? Probably a bunch, I would bet, huh? Ground to third, caught by Brown, throw to first, high, and Kramer gets his foot back on the bag, drew him off, but got his foot back, and a 5-3 put out ends the inning, but damage done. 5 runs on just 1 hit. 5 runs on 1 hit, 3 walks, a hit by a pitch, a reached on a drop third strike, and a sacrifice amounts to 5 runs. You don't see that happen very often, do you, Denny?
That's tough on him.
So it's 10-6 at the end of 4.5, and the Spartans, who would have liked to have ended this thing in 5 after being up 10-1 going into this inning, he's got a lot of work to do now if they're going to try to do that here, as they have to score 6 to get to the 10-run rule now.
I think at this point they just have to concentrate on getting the W and try to get themselves recharged for their 4:30 game.
The only good thing about this one is you are the home team, so if you can hold the lead, you only have to bat 2 more times. You don't have to bat 3. Right. You just got to play defense 3 more times. Well, 2 more times technically, I guess. It's a 5th inning, but they've already faced them in the 5th inning, so they've got to face them in the 6th and the 7th. So this at bat and another one for BPC, and then hold on, right?
And hold on.
So we'll see what the Kyle Rhodes, is that who's out there pitching? Oh, 30 is out there. Hunt. Andrew Hunt in to pitch. New catcher. I was talking, not listening, Jake. Grant Roush is catching now. Number 9. So this is where your second or third pitchers, and if you, I guess you look at this a couple different ways. If this is last Tuesday when this game, or last Thursday when this game is supposed to happen, it's only one game. You don't have the championship afterwards. You can pitch a couple pitchers, get it done, and get it over with, ideally with 2 of your better pitchers and get the win, right? But with the whole scenario has changed when you have 2 games, and the second game is really a bigger game than this game in the whole scheme of things.
And we're on pitcher number 3.
So you got to save that 1 and 2 probably for the next game. So you have to figure out how to get through this, but you don't want to give up the win. It's a tough situation with the pitch counts where they are to be able to, that's one of the things that people talk about coaching baseball and this and that. There's so much more to this sport in that scenario and that way than there is to other sports, right?
There is, and my coach in junior college used to tell us that baseball was a science. And you can understand that when everything that they have to figure out, it's certainly a sport you have to think ahead.
So Hunt is the pitcher. Huffman of the lane variety at the plate. He was struck out looking in the last inning. He flew out to second base in his first at bat. See what he does here is Hunt's first pitch. High and a ball. Some of the students have stuck around to watch the game here. Of course, the ones that had to get on the buses had to. And a pop fly, center of the infield. Hunt is there, makes the catch. F1 on the fly out. And it's out number 1 here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Ezra Mason coming to the plate now. Ezra is 2 for 2 on the day, 3 runs scored, and has a walk with an RBI. So 2 pitches and an out for Hunt. That's high, and it kind of tailed back in, didn't it?
It did tail back in.
But still a ball, but I thought it was going to be high and inside, and it really just went a little high. High and outside that time. 2-0's the count. But you have to think that the Cyclones, without having that second game today, kind of back to what the conversation was there, is with them only having the 1 game today, as Mason puts that into center field, a pop-up. It's shallow center, but it's going to be ran down and caught for out number 2. Out there was Cameron Kramer. So 2 up, 2 down. First time 4 and out for Ezra Mason. Ben Powell, who's 3 for 3 with 2 doubles and a single here. He's got 3 RBIs. Pretty good game for Powell this far. And that one's high. Ball 1. But what I was saying there before that is you have to think they can use 2 or 3 of their better pitchers, possibly, depending on what their week looks like the rest of the way. And there's Powell reaches for one, back to the screen it goes. But depending on what the rest of their week looks like and what they've done coming into today, they can maybe go a little deeper in their rotation, right?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely to their advantage in this situation.
And then, you got the mixed emotions, I think, for the Spartans. And that's the good thing about having a veteran coach and Coach Arnold is, this is a rivalry game. And as Powell reaches out for one, sends it left center field. Over floating is the left fielder and going to make the catch for out number 3. Very quick half inning there. 3 up, 3 down. And we go to the top of the 6th inning, 10-6. BPC leads the Cyclones. We'll be back here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH, right after this.
My MDH Sports Medicine and Rehabilitation does more than just tape ankles.
They get us back on the court.
My MDH Sports Medicine and Rehabilitation
helps me reach peak performance.
In the weight room. Prepares me for competition.
My MDH physical therapists and the fitness programs MDH offers help me on my road to recovery and improve my quality of life.
Come see why MDH Sports Medicine and Rehabilitation was voted best of the best in McDonough County.
I couldn't ask for a better agent, for a better company in a disaster where you have no idea where to start.
I learned that there's not a given in life. It takes a team. There's people that are going to watch out for us and that care.
It's been pretty stressful. Once we saw Lori and got our plan, it's
like a huge weight lifted.
Dry needling is where you insert a filiform needle into a muscle, a tendon, a ligament, sometimes a bone, and it promotes blood flow and circulation so that it heals that particular painful area.
And welcome back here, top of the 6th inning. First 3 batters for the Cyclones, Hilton, Powell, and Hunt. And they kind of changed the momentum a little bit, Denny, at the top of the 5th inning. If they can keep that going, they're within striking distance now, 10-6.
They certainly are.
And that's going to be a short grounder. Strode is there and makes another barehanded play, just as he did to end inning number 1, a 6-3 putout. 1 out, Drew Powell at the plate. Powell got hit by a pitch in his last at-bat and scored a run, struck out in his first at-bat. That ball's in the dirt and looks a little shy at the plate there as he was bailing out on the pitch in the dirt. That's what happened when you get one right between the shoulder blades the last at-bat, right? Can't say that I blame him one little bit.
A little bit of that tendency to begin with, and that certainly didn't help catching one in the spine.
No. And throwing at him again. 2-0 is the count. Looks like we might be having a little bit of video problems here. We apologize for that if we are. Three and 0. Huffman struggling to find the strike zone here. Your number 9 hitter is not the one you want to walk, right?
No.
And he gets a strike call there. Now you're going to make him be a hitter here.
That actually brings it to 3-2.
Does it? Did I miss one? Thank you. Don't pay attention to my scoreboard.
Nice. Helped us out there a little bit on going after the high one. We'll take it.
That's what when you get to that count and you make them be hitters, right? You got to throw a couple strikes to make them be hitters, and it worked that time.
Well, in this case with this infield especially, they're pretty tight.
Andrew Hunt, 0 for 3 or 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. He did, as I say, score as part of that long inning in the last inning. There's a ball. 2-0 is the count. Dalton Huffman doesn't take much time to work, does he?
No, he doesn't.
And a high pitch as Hunt chased one there. Brings the count to 2-1. Ball's foul. First base coach put a hand out there. Should have caught that one. Should have caught that one. But evens the count at 2-2. 2 down, nobody on. Top of the 6th for the Cyclones. They trail 10-6. They were down 10-1 heading into the 5th. That ball's popped. Foul territory, first base line. Nate Kramer's there, makes the catch.
Our turn to go 3 up, 3 down.
And an F3 ends the 6th inning. So as Denny said, the Spartans send the Cyclones back into the defensive field. 3 up, 3 down. No runs, no hits, no errors, none left. And at the end of 5.5, it's still 10-6 BPC. We'll be back right after this.
MDH has committed to having a top-notch OB-GYN unit.
The new facility, the Dolores Cater Schweitzer Women's Center, this is a quality facility that the patients need to match the quality of care.
And then we also have a new clinic, which is state-of-the-art.
And here at McDonough, we have a team. And everybody feels like they're a part of the successes that we have.
We have a strong team in our office and in labor and delivery. You will get the best care at McDonough District.
MTC Communications is building a high-speed fiber network in our community, and we're putting priority on the areas with the greatest interest. That means we need your input to let us know you want us to build fiber in your area first. Experience the speed and convenience of fiber internet by visiting our special website and registering. Let us know you want fiber internet today and make your voice heard.
I chose physical therapy because I knew I wanted to be in the healthcare field. I wanted to be able to help patients in some way related to more in depth. We get to know our patients, and that's really what kind of sets us apart.
And welcome back. Bottom of the 6th inning coming your way. First 3 batters for BPC, Dalton Horwittle, who's replaced by Nate Kramer, actually. So Cramer will be the hitter. Dalton Huffman and Dalton Strode will be the first 3. If they don't go 3 up, 3 down this time, it'll be Carter Alleman and Elliott Mason following those 3.
Leading off for Bushnell-Prairie City, number 25, Nick Kramer.
So Kramer's first at bat, he did pitch. Doesn't show anything. He didn't pitch a third, even didn't get an out, I don't think, but he did give up several runs in the 5th inning. Going to put that ball in play down third base line. Third baseman giving chase, and it's going to fall short in front of him. Rhodes was the one down there. Couldn't quite get to it. I kind of feel like Roush was running that direction, and when Roush dropped his helmet, it made a rattle, and Rhodes took his eye off of it for a split second and maybe sounded closer than he wanted it to be. Ball's high and outside. 1-1. In play, left field, past the diving left fielder. Kramer's going to round, but the ball stopped. That shows you just how close that play was to being caught, because it bounced out of the glove and didn't roll very far.
No, it didn't.
But it is a single for Kramer. Runner on first, nobody out. Good attempt at the catch by Hilton, though. Dalton Huffman, who's now the pitcher at the plate, he is 1 for 3 with a single. That's a ball.
That had to be pretty close, Dwayne.
He struck out in his second at bat, flew to third base in his first at bat. He did score a run in the 4th inning. That ball's behind the hitter. Roush still got a glove on it. You got to give him props for even getting a glove on that one.
Definitely got away from him.
When the batter has to lean forward to keep from getting hit, you know it's a
and take a step.
Yeah, it's a little inside. Right, 3-0. That ball's outside. Walks him. Runners on first and second, nobody out. Coming to the plate, Dalton Strode. He's got a pair of singles. He's 2 for 3. Grounded out to second base in his first at bat. Has not scored a run. He's kind of been that guy that's made things move forward, but hasn't been able to get in the home plate. And hasn't been able to plate anybody either. Chance to do it here. That's going to be dropping, I think. It will drop, but it's just going to advance the runners as Kramer had to hold up for just a split second. That's all it took, but another single for Strode makes him 3 for 4 on the game. Bases loaded, nobody out for Carter Alleman.
The bases are full for number 30, Carter Alleman.
Alleman picked up the win last night, I do believe, for the Spartans. Still 10-6. Bases chocked full of Spartans, though, and nowhere for Hunt to put Alleman with nobody out. Strode over at first base is taking a huge lead. And the corners are in. In fact, looks like maybe now the middle is deep, but the corners are in, trying to protect the run here. I guess at this point you have to save every run you can, right? Nowhere to put him. 2-0 is the count. Got to make them be hitters here. Just hope that your defense can help you out. Spartans will be running on contact, I would imagine, if it's on the ground especially. They'll take a lead if it's not, but that's going to be a ball. About half expected to see Reynolds break back to the bag one of these times over at first base. There's a strike. 3-1. Strode, not so much now, but Strode was taking a great big lead over there. Kramer not as much of a threat, I don't think, to steal at third or try to come home. And Alleman chases one there. Full count now. Alleman puts it in play. Chance for a double play. Play to first or second. He drops it. And Strode, who led up on the play, maybe could have beat that out. Eddie hustled through, but it's going to be a fielder's choice. Alleman will reach. Kramer will score.
I'm not sure why he wasn't sliding on that.
Elliott Mason stepping to the plate now. He is 1 for 2 with a sacrifice, and he reached on an air. And there's the ever famous, I'm going to act like I'm throwing to second and bean it to the pitcher, and hopefully I can catch the other guys taken off, but didn't happen. No double steal or delayed steal from the third base that time. So runners on second and third. That ball's high and inside. 2-0's the count. 2-1's the count? Or 1-1. 1-1, excuse me, I meant to say.
Thought we were going to have a little momentum shift there.
Two straight pitches high and inside on Mason. Still a chance for that. That one's high. 3-1. First base is open. So with two in scoring position and knowing that Mason has been the better of the hitters thus far today, you probably don't want to give him a good pitch to hit. And they don't. They'll walk him. Jake Brown stepping to the plate now. He is 0 for 3.
Bases loaded for number 27, Jake Brown.
Like the Cyclones want to talk things over.
Bases are loaded with just one out. Grant Bland, the head coach for the Cyclones, former assistant for the Sparklones under Dave Arnold for the last several years, goes out and talks to the infield about what they're going to do here.
Was anybody sorry to see that name go?
You know what? I never disliked that name. I thought it was kind of silly at first, and then I got to thinking that it's kind of cool to be the only something.
That we were.
You know, we were the only ones. There was no other Sparklones on the face of the planet.
No doubt.
So there's a ball high. So I was okay with it for that reason. Just because we were solo in that. We weren't one of the 5,000 Spartans or 80 Cyclones or minors or whatever, you know what I mean? There's a strike, evens the count at 1-1. So for that reason, and the only reason, I'm sad to see it go. Was a little odd, but it's a foul ball. But I guess you could have been the wooden shoes or the bunnies.
True.
I'd rather be a spark clone than a wooden shoe or a bunny.
I just remember
or a corn jerker. Hoopston area corn jerkers. Puts it in play right back to the pitcher and should have went home. Didn't do it. Goes to first.
Why did he not go home? He had plenty of time.
He had plenty of time, as Denny just said, but it's going to be a fielder's choice. A run scores.
Next up, number 11, Lane Huffman.
Makes it 12-6. Lane Huffman at the plate. He's flew out to second, flew out to the pitcher, and struck out looking. He's 0 for 3. That ball's high. 1-0 is the count. Wish it had been cooler, but this has been fun today.
This fan is a lifesaver behind us.
Yeah, Jake and I thought about that because a couple fat guys in here needed to have some air blowing on us in this building, and you just happen to be a beneficiary of it.
Well, I do appreciate it.
Deep fly ball, left field, over the head of the left fielder. 1 run's going to score. 2 runs is going to score. Huffman easily to second. He's going to look at third. Coach Arnold sends him. He's going to be close. Throw to third in the dirt. A sliding triple for Lane Huffman, and he clears the bases. 2 more runs score for BPC. That makes it 14-6.
He stumbled a little bit just about the shortstop position out there. I was wondering if he was going to make it.
If the throw would have been on time, he would not have made it. Ezra Mason, top of the batting order up for BPC. And Hunt steps off the rubber. And they call a balk. So another run scores.
Did he just lose his footing there?
I can't really see him from here. I don't know what happened, to be honest with you. So base is clear now, and Spartans away from that 10-run rule that we talked about. They've scored 5 here in the 6th inning. Mason, who is 2 for 3, a double, a single, 3 runs scored, an RBI, a walk. He flew out to center field in his last at bat. Puts that one in play. It's going to go to right. That's trouble. Big time run from the center fielder, and Cameron's going to make it. Kramer is going to make the catch, and that'll end the inning. That was a nice run and catch as he took it pretty much away from the right fielder, Powell. But at the end of 6 complete, it's a 9-run lead for BPC. 15-6 is the score. Spartans scored 5 runs on 3 hits, 2 walks, a fielder's choice. And at the end of 6 complete, BPC leads 15-6. We'll take our final break of what could be this contest. It's going to be 9 runs needed for the Cyclones if we have another half inning after this. We'll be right back on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH, after this.
I couldn't ask for a better agent, for a better company in a disaster where you have no idea where to start.
I learned that there's not a given in life. It takes a team. There's people that are going to watch out for us and that care.
It's been pretty stressful. Once we saw Lori and got our plan, it's
like a huge weight lifted.
Some farmers I know swear by a name, say they'd never operate anything else. Well, here are a few names for my Fendt 900 Gen 6 series. Fuel Saver, Time Maximizer, Game Changer. I like those names.
And top of the 7th inning here at Bushnell-Prairie City High School, Denver Mitchell is going to start off what is scheduled to be the last at-bat for the Cyclones. Spartans need to keep him from scoring 9 to end it here. Mitchell's first pitch he sees is a ball. 1-0 is the count. Huffman still on the rubber. Was that a strike?
That was a strike.
Looked like a strike, but I couldn't tell for sure if that's what he called or not. Probably nobody in this place ready for this game to be over any more than Merv Hilliard behind the plate. Well, the Cyclones are probably wearing some pretty, it's probably pretty warm for them too in the sun. But
Merv's got a couple years on him.
Merv's got some years on him. He's got a lot more equipment on, and he's wearing dark blue and dark gray pants. Mitchell swings and fouls it out of play, evens the count at 2-2. So, first batter of the top of the 7th. Foul down to first base line. Kramer's going to give it chase and can't get there. It'll fall in foul territory. Count remains 2-2. Dalton Huffman, his offering comes with 2-2 count. Curveball stayed high, did curve back in over the plate, but brings the count full, 3-2. And low, maybe a smidge outside, walks the batter after a full count. Cameron Cramer, who had a triple with 3 RBIs in the last inning. He's 1 for 3 on the day. He's grounded out to short and grounded out to the pitcher. He's got a runner on first awaiting him here. The ball's outside. Ball 1. Swing and a miss.
Excuse me.
Brings the count to 1-1. Probably not looking to steal much here. They'll take that as I say that. As the runner advances on a pass ball. It's another ball. 2-1 is the count. That ball's outside. Wild pitch to the fence. 3-1's the count. And the runner advances to third base. Huffman's offer. Called a strike. Brings count full. So 2 batters, 2 full counts here to start the 7th inning for Dalton Strode. He's at 11 pitches in this inning already. And that one's going to go in play. They'll forget about the runner. 6-3 on the putout, but the run scores.
Thank you.
Next up, the catcher, number 27, Kyle Rhodes.
Kyle Rhodes coming to the plate now. He's playing third base at this point. He's 1 for 2. Strike 1. He's 1 for 2 with a walk, a single, and grounded out to second. There's strike number 2. I know, no kidding. Huffman does not waste any time on the mound. And he does. 3 pitches, 3 strikes, and caught him looking for out number 2.
Did he swing the bat at all?
He's got a single today, and he grounded out to second.
Number 14, John Reynolds.
John Reynolds, the starting pitcher for the Cyclones, is 0 for 2, or 0 for 1 actually. He's got a walk, a sacrifice with an RBI, and a fly out to center field. And first pitch was a ball. That's a ball low and outside. 2-0's the count. There's a strike. Brings the count to 2-1 on the swing and a miss by John Reynolds. Reynolds puts one into play down left center. It's going to drop for at least a single. Reynolds is going to round first, not going to do anything. He'll be satisfied with that. Brings him to 1 for 2 on the day.
Number 23, Andrew Kramer.
Andrew Cameron. 3 strikeouts looking. Is that a ball or a strike?
That was a ball.
There's another one. 2-0. Huffman pitches so fast I can't get through all the stats before he throws the first pitch.
He does work quick.
There's another left center line drive, and it'll be another single, and runners on first and second with 2 outs. That'll bring Grant Rauch to the plate. He's 0 for 3. Struck out swinging in the first, struck out looking in the second, grounded to third in his third at bat. Huffman now the deal with runners on first and second. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. Puts it in play. Left center again. Alleman comes up to make the catch, though, and that'll end the ball game. And F7. And that'll end it. We'll take a quick break and be back here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH in just a moment.
MDH has committed to having a top-notch OB-GYN unit.
The new facility, the Dolores Cater Schweitzer Women's Center, this is a quality facility that the patients need to match the quality of care.
And then we also have a new clinic, which is state-of-the-art.
And here at McDonough, we have a team. And everybody feels like they're a part of the successes that we have.
We have a strong team in our office and in labor and delivery. You will get the best care at McDonough District.
At Country Financial, we enjoy serving the community in which we live, big or small.
I love living in the Blandonsville area. It's where I grew up, went to school, and decided to raise my family. I never had a desire to live or work anywhere other than in a small town. I feel lucky to help my longtime friends and family every day.
I'm Brett Powell, your local Country Financial representative, whose door is always open to work with you.
We're always moving. Scratch that. We're always moving forward. But forward can sometimes look a little backwards. Or like circles. Or like nothing at all. But we never stop.
Some farmers I know swear by a name. say they'd never operate anything else. Well, here are a few names for my Fendt 900 Gen 6 series. Fuel Saver, Time Maximizer, Game Changer. I like those names.
And welcome back here. As you see, ball's game is complete. 15-7 the final. BPC with the win over West Prairie. And BPC would like to talk to Coach Arnold, but really I don't think they probably have a whole lot of time. It's a little after 3. They're supposed to play at 4:30 in Macomb, and it's a big one.
It is a big one, conference championship, and I'm fortunate that they had to have this game today. I'm glad that for them to get it in, but would have been better if we could have gotten it on the schedule last week so they wouldn't have had to double up today, especially with the conference championship on the line.
Macomb 15-8 this season. Of course, they play some bigger schools too, but they are always a good baseball team. But Bushnell and Macomb has always been a rivalry, even though Bushnell in years past didn't play Macomb a lot because they were always the big school, right? Same conference now. 15 years ago, 20 years ago, we'd have never thought that these two teams would be playing for a conference championship in any sport, let alone baseball or anything else.
Yeah, true enough. They did play against when Justin and Derek were playing. They played them in baseball in Lewiston for the conference championship, and Bushnell did win.
Yeah,
that's been a few years ago. But no, Macomb has always been a rival, clear back even to Wayne in my father's time, back in the, he graduated in 1950. And when I was with the 8FL organization here with the Bushnell Warriors, played in Macomb, it was the same old thing. It didn't matter what sport, whether it was high school, junior high, that rivalry is there, and it's always going to be.
Yeah, and that's what's cool about this game is going to be a rivalry for the next few years. There's going to be people who played together, so it'll have a little different feel. But as this changes and those kids become gone, and then we have these kids that haven't played before, get Coach Arnold up here maybe to talk for a second if he's going to come in here. I didn't figure he'd come up and talk to us, but maybe he will.
He says they're not going to start without him. So.
That's right. You want to talk for a minute since you're here?
Sure.
We got Coach Arnold on here. I know that we won't keep you. I didn't figure you'd even come walking through here. I guess you got to tear stuff down, don't you?
Yeah.
Here, put that in front real quick. But I'll tell you what, you guys had a 10-1 lead going into the 5th. That would have been nice to end it right there, wouldn't it?
Well, that was the plan. But Kramer hadn't pitched in quite a while, so I wasn't expecting him to go out and be really stellar. But it is what it is. We came back and still won by a pretty good margin.
So we've talked about how cool it is that Macomb and Bushnell are playing for a conference championship.
Yeah.
You've coached here a long time.
Yeah.
Did you ever think you'd see these two teams playing for a conference championship?
No,
I mean, you've played them through the years, but not for a conference championship.
Yeah, and no, I didn't ever see a time when Macomb would be in the conference. They're talking about putting Canton in now. I mean, there's like a meeting like tonight or something about putting Canton in the conference too. So I mean, we'll see how it works.
So does this game here is going to be a rivalry for years to come, I'm sure.
Sure, yeah.
I mean, right now it's still a friendship deal, but as those kids disappear that have played together, it becomes more of a rivalry. You got 2 rivalry games really in the same day at different places. Is this something you ever thought you'd see as a coach, playing a doubleheader at different places on the same day, an hour apart?
Especially like on a Wednesday. I put a post up, some Max Preps, something about playing a day game in all sports seasons so all the kids could come out. People like Denny jumps on. It's like, make it happen, man, make it happen. So we made it happen, and it was pretty cool. It was pretty fun.
I think the kids have. I mean, you've coached a lot of sports. Never had pep band at baseball, though, have you?
No, I've been telling Jones come out. I've been inviting him out to games for years, and turns me down. So I don't know. It was pretty cool.
So do you think this worked out as you planned? Do you think this is something that we as maybe communities can come together and make this kind of thing happen again?
Oh, I think so. We had some snags this morning. I was really terrified because some of our grounds we've had our lawnmowers have been broke, and it didn't look so swell out here this morning, but Dr. Dinger and some others, they really jumped into action, and we got some people out there and to get the facilities looking really good for this game.
Well, I know that it's something that I've been doing sports since the mid-'90s. I've never seen this. I said I've never called a day game of any sport besides a state tournament, a regular season day game. It never happened during the week that I know of.
It was supposed to happen last week, but we got rained out, and it was kind of like an incentive thing for some kids. I can't remember what the plan was, if they got no detentions or if they'd had all their work turned. I can't remember what it was, but there was some stipulation so that the kids could get out of school early to come out here and watch the game. Mr. Butcher had some type of incentive thing back in the fall where they took them out to the park or something. I can't even remember what happened, and that's when I approached him. I said, hey, I got an idea for the spring. Let's play a 1 o'clock game, and all the kids who qualify can kind of skip their afternoon classes and come on out. So it didn't work out perfectly in that regards because they moved this game to a Wednesday, and our kids get out at 2 o'clock on Wednesdays anyway. So that's why at 2 o'clock there was a mass exodus of people.
And the elementary didn't get to come either.
Yeah, and the elementary didn't get to come either. So maybe next year a little more planning and stuff. And it was really good to see people taking charge like Croxton and you coming out here and doing the game. And like I said, Dr. Dinger's helped this morning, and Mr. Butcher and stuff like that. Kim Wrench, she was out here running all over the place. She was helping Croxton run the games and all that. And so it took a lot of people to bring things together, but it worked out pretty well.
So obviously something you hope to continue in the future?
Yeah, it was kind of a neat thing. I know Coach Bland was talking to a couple of teams that he was played this past week or whatever, and telling them that, hey, they're going to play this 1 o'clock game in Bushnell, and all the coaches he talked to thought it was just awesome. So I don't know, maybe we'll set a trend, and people will we'll see other schools doing this too. So
you've been here a long time, and you've had different co-ops now, and you've had different coaches come and go, and you've coached against coaches that coached with you and stuff like that. What's it like seeing those other coaches? Like Coach Bland's now over, the head coach for the Cyclones. He coached with you the last 5 or 6 years.
Yeah.
What's that like the first time or two that you see those guys?
It's a lot of fun. I mean, it's not anything about their strategies and everything. And it's not that. You play your game and whatever it is. But it's fun seeing Coach Bland. He's the right man for the job over there. They're really young. And he's a very, very patient person, and he's the one that can really keep their confidence up, even though they're not having a stellar season. But he's the type that can keep the confidence going and build things over there.
Well, Coach, I'll let you get out of here. You got a bus ride. We'll be broadcasting that game as well, so Kenny will be doing that, so stop up and talk to Kenny afterwards.
All right, sounds good. Thanks.
That was Coach Arnold talking to us here on the post-game show, and we'll get one last word from Denny here, and we'll call it quits on this broadcast. And Denny, pretty good offensive performance for BPC. You had Mason, it was 2 for 3. You had Ben Powell, 3 for 4. You had Strode, 3 for 4. You had some guys with walks and sacrifices and several doubles. Good offensive output, and the defense was pretty good too. The one inning where they scored quite a few runs was a lot of walks and a few hits mixed in.
That all started off with a pass ball on the third strike or wild pitch on the third strike, and I think that took a lot of wind out of their sails. It took them a little bit to recover from that. Took us out of our plan, which was what we were hoping for, was a 10-run rule and as early as possible so they could get to their other game. And but I guess the most important thing at the end of the day, they got the W.
So we'll call it good for the day here from Bushnell-Prairie City High School. Final score 15-7. The Spartans beat the Cyclones. We'll be back with another contest in just a little bit. The Bombers host the Spartans for the Prairieland Conference Tournament Prairieland Conference Championship in just about an hour and 15 minutes. We'll see you then here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.